Good Saturday morning, everybody. I'm not an animation historian, and in today's episode, I will be providing my commentary for the first of the new Looney Tunes cartoons that are currently on HBO Max. And if you can hear it, there is the Merry-Go-Round Broke Down song that was featured on many of the Looney Tunes series cartoons and some of the Merry Melody cartoons, which were later reissued. So I wanted to draw your attention to the red concentric circles that are often featured at the beginning of these cartoons. So over here on the right is from Yankee Doodle Daffy, a McKimson cartoon from 1943 that was a Looney Tunes cartoon compared to the current one. So you can see the style of the character portrayals is very similar to how it was done in the 1940s and even earlier. The more broader circles were more characteristic of the Looney Tunes cartoons compared to the Merry Melodies, which were more concentric. And if you look at some of the cartoons in this current series, you can see that they vary up the cartoons, some of which were of the Looney Tunes styles, some of which were the Merry Melody styles as well. And they also alternate between Merry-Go-Round Broke Down and Merrily We Roll Along. However, none of the cartoons are explicitly labeled as a Merry Melodies. Most of them are just said to be Looney Tunes, as the characters have colloquially over time been referred to as Looney Tunes characters. And we also see a return of the title cards that were very characteristic of all the cartoons back in the day. Credits, and of note, Pete Braungart is the individual most responsible for the creation of this series, as he wanted to direct a Looney Tunes cartoon and was able to end up making it happen. And here are the stars of our short animation. The third most featured Looney Tune character ever, Daffy Duck, and the second most featured Looney Tune character, Porky Pig, with Bugs Bunny, of course, being the number one most featured character. So Porky and Daffy have long been paired together, starting with Porky's Duck Hunt, at which time Porky was Warner Brothers' biggest star, and Daffy Duck rose to fame quite quickly, surpassing Porky Pig. In that particular era, a lot of those cartoons were directed by Tex Avery, Bob Clampett, and Tashlin as well. Daffy Duck was very much portrayed as a screwball character who was very manic, very hard to control, and just causing chaos all around him. Of the new shorts that are available, Daffy Duck's animation is very much in line with how Bob Clampett primarily had conceptualized of him. And as you can see here in the top left corner is how he's portrayed. In that right quadrant is the way that Bob Clampett liked his animators to portray him. So you can see there's more curvature in the overall physique of Daffy, and the bill tends to have more of a rounded nature as well. If you look in the bottom left corner is how McKimson modeled him. So he would stand a little more upright, be a little more broad-based, and his bill would be a lot more flat. And in the bottom right corner is how Chuck Jones preferred to depict Daffy Duck, where his bill is a lot more prominent, is kind of the main change. And also, personality-wise, Chuck Jones tended to portray Daffy as more egocentric, greedy, and chronically underachieving, and very often acted as a foil to Bugs Bunny. So the dynamic between Daffy and Porky here is somewhat not new, but not as often portrayed. Whereas in the late 30s and 40s, Daffy's antics would just really exacerbate Porky and undermined him at every turn. Oh, this is a good gag that's about to come up right here. What I rather enjoy about this particular series of gags is just how absurd each subsequent feature found in the cave is, and how Daffy is just naively drawn to it, completely oblivious of what he's doing to Porky, and it just goes on, almost wearing out its welcome until the very last one where Daffy just shakes the hand of the knight's armor, which is just totally absurd. So as I was saying, in the later pairings of Daffy and Porky, it was Daffy who was very egotistic and the butt of a lot of the jokes, where Porky, as the straight man, was actually the wiser one who just chose to kind of stay in the background, knowing that his cohort was somewhat incompetent. This was another highlight in the cartoon for me, this particular sequence where Daffy just coaxes Porky into trying to suck the venom out of his leg, only to have a reveal twist at the end there.
I'll save you, Daffy. Keep fucking. Fuck! Put your back into it!
Whoa! Did he just say... Look, I know it's HBO, but kids might be watching this. Hold on.
He fucking. Put your back into it!
Huh. I think that actually made it sound dirtier.
Let's go.
Oh well, I tried.
Psychopath?
I haven't even mentioned the voice actors here. So Daffy Duck is being voiced by Eric Bauza. Probably did not say that properly. Who in this series of cartoons does the voice of Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, and Marvin the Martian. And when the subsequent shorts are released, whenever that is, he'll also do Pepe Le Pew and a few other characters as well. If you grew up in the 80s and 90s, like I did, and watched a lot of cartoons, many of the contemporary recreations of those cartoons, Eric Bauza actually voices a lot of characters, including Fozzie Bear, Master Splinter, Stimpy, other characters in the DuckTales, and so on. Bob Bergen is the voice of Porky Pig and has done Porky Pig for quite some time, and I think even before Eric Bauza he did Bugs Bunny as well. In the subsequent shorts he'll do Foghorn Leghorn and a few other characters I can't recall right now. So as this particular short begins to conclude, I'll just wrap up by saying that I quite enjoyed it. I've yet to watch all of the present shorts that have been released. There's been 30 in total. And it was announced that they're going to do about 1,000 minutes of new shorts. This current season is 10 episodes in length. Each episode is 11 minutes. So that would come out to about 90 episodes in total. So 9 seasons. And that would amount to about 270 new shorts, ranging in length anywhere from 1 minute to 7 minutes. So as far as I'm aware, voice work is still ongoing, so if you want this series to continue, I'd recommend just subscribing to HBO Max. I did. I'm somebody who shares Netflix passwords with my family and vice versa. I didn't have to subscribe to HBO Max, but I decided to do it anyways just to try to support the furtherance of this series. And I believe with the 80th anniversary of Bugs Bunny coming up, other things are going to be released as well. So if you're a Looney Tunes fan, this should be a good year, despite all the other chaos that's going on in the world presently. And that's a wrap. Until next time.